Shanice and Flex.
Hi, Shanti.
What's up,
Oh my
Johnny?
God, it's so good to see you guys.
What's up?
Good to see you.
I miss you all.
I miss you too.
Thank you so much for joining. If maybe Flex can slide over. Yeah.
Okay.
Act like you love your boo.
Yeah.
Boy.
I be trying to make sure she can get. I make sure the light is hitting her right. She likes the light.
Look, I got on my shirt. Look.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Silence of Shame. Oh, thank you guys.
Shame.
Well, welcome to another edition of the Yeah Wellness Check-In. God placed this on my spirit a little over a week ago. And I've been checking in with some amazing people, some of your friends. Yesterday, we talked to DeAndre Whitfield. We talked to Tisha Campbell, who I know you guys love and adore.
Yes.
Charlemagne, June Ambrose. I mean, the list continues. And I'm just, grateful that people appreciate this conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think, now is a tough time for everyone. And it's funny, like I had a moment, I broke down and started crying 30 minutes ago, and I was like, oh God, how am I getting ready to get on here and talk to them? But, I haven't really talked to you guys. I lost my sister last year, and it's been the worst year of my life. Thank you. And I'm coming up on the 1-year anniversary soon. And so from a wellness perspective, I was like, I just got to keep it real. Today's a tough day for me for whatever reasons. But I am grateful that I woke up and I have a roof over my head, and I don't have COVID-19. It's a lot going on in the world. So not to place my burdens or problems above anyone else, but we're all human.
Yeah.
We all have things that we're going through. And so just wanted to check in with you guys and see, how are you guys doing? How's your family coping right now from a wellness perspective?
Everyone is good.
We're hanging in there. I can't say, just like you had a moment today, I have my moments too, where, fear starts to set in, and, I stopped watching the news because the news was giving me anxiety. I would, like, in the middle of the night was fast, my chest felt tight, and I said, Flex, I want to go to the hospital, but then I was scared to go to the hospital because of, the coronavirus, and, so I've been dealing with anxiety too, trying to get through this whole thing.
And I kept telling her, I said, listen, I said, you because, in the initial stage of it, I'm watching everything, I'm getting messages, and people say this, that, and then they sending that mass text. I got a friend at the Pentagon. I'm like, Negro, where was y'all friends at the Pentagon?
My God, we all got that, right?
We all got that.
And my thing was, where was y'all friend at the Pentagon 6 months ago if they knew this was coming? You know what I'm saying? So I had to start putting it in perspective, and I said, fear is a low vibration energy, and if we start to go to that, that's going to cause a breakdown in your physical being. You get sick.
Absolutely.
Mental being, you start, having more anxiety. And I just blocked it out. I'm not watching the news. I know what it is. I'm going to take precautions.
Do everything we can.
And that's it. That's all you can do. But to listen to the news all day and talk to your friends, and the only conversation is about, oh, this one died, and not, the actual real numbers.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Of the people who have survived it, and the actual out of 320 million Americans that, the amount that have passed. And it's not to make light of it, but, we're still, any loss of life is bad, but we're still in a good space as far as numbers wise, because it has not ravaged the country. So I had to just go to that mindset, and, it's helped me. And I told her, I said, stop it. I said, you can't be talking about you praying and worrying. Like, that don't go together.
So it's funny that you say that. So I wanted to try to incorporate different things into these wellness talks. So I thought about incorporating a tip of the day. My tip of the day is right in line with what you're saying, Flex, is keep a positive attitude. And I know that's difficult to do during these times.
Yeah, we're human.
But we have to try to do our best to keep a positive attitude, to refrain, being on social media all the time, or all the news that we're consuming, because it does play with your mental psyche. And
it does. I literally had to unfollow. There's a lot of pages I follow, some conscious brothers and people, and, putting all this information. And I had to unfollow it, because I'm like, there is fear mongering. They're pushing fear. And then at the end of their post, they're like, yo, you need this, you need my magic oil to give you peace, $29.99. I'm like, oh, you trying to sell something?
Yeah, and that's that's
you know what I'm saying?
We don't need any of that.
No, no.
Let me ask you guys also. So Flex, I've been seeing you DJ, so thank you very much, brother, for that. That's a good wellness piece for me, just to log on and see you guys having a good time, and especially as a family. And I'm sure it's relaxing for you, but what else do you do from a self-care perspective? And Shanice, what have you been doing to take care of Shanice?
For me, obviously the DJing, and my mom is here. She
oh, good.
Got here right before all of this madness. Having my mom here has been great. And honestly, just chilling. Like, I don't really, meditation and it just chilling. I'm watching some, great Netflix series.
Yeah.
But really just chilling and taking my mind off of all that is, my self-care, and keeping out the negative news and keeping the friends that are hitting me with stuff, blocking them, and saying, listen, I don't want to intake any of that energy. So that's been kind of my regimen.
Okay, good. Shanice?
For me, just like Flex said, like, I'm not watching the news anymore, and just meditating, praying, and just trying to keep my mind in a peaceful state. We watch ridiculousness like all day and night because it makes me laugh.
I love that.
Yeah, right.
So that helps
any
me.
shows you want to shout out? Anything that's worth watching?
Oh yeah, watch Ridiculousness. Ozarks on.
I've heard about Ozarks.
Netflix.
I heard it's dope.
I've been watching that since the first season.
Okay.
Been watching some old movies like Coming to America.
That's my favorite.
Just watching. I haven't really, we haven't really watched like all the movies on Netflix because I just find stuff that grabs my eye. Like last night, I watched this series called "The Case of Gabriel Fernandez" about this young boy who was abused. It was out of Los Angeles.
Yeah,
the mother and the boyfriend abused him, and he ended up passing away. And it just really made me think, like, yo, we're sitting here tripping, yo. Our problems don't pale in comparison to what
that little boy
went through, and the hundreds and maybe thousands of little boys and little girls who go through that. And with the child safety care system, and it just talked about that whole system and the cracks in it. So it opened my eyes to a lot of stuff, and to say, like, we really are blessed, and our children, and for those kids who are going through that, I just just pray that they get help, and it just opened my eyes to something different.
That's good. I appreciate that. How are your kids doing?
They're good.
Good, man.
They're actually doing really well. Like, thank God for FaceTime, because they're able to still keep in contact with their friends.
Yeah.
They're doing their work from home, and
have you guys had to adjust with helping them during their work? Like, any tips you can give to parents?
They don't, man. We got a college and a high school student.
Yeah, our son's in 5th grade. Our daughter is in college, so
they kind of rolling.
They're kind of on their own, like.
It's like they come out, they're like gremlins. They come out to eat.
They come out to eat. They go in their rooms and shut the door.
I hear that. That's funny. And so, Flex, how is your mom doing with everything?
She's doing great. My mom has been doing really, really well. As we talked about before, when you started your Silence the Shame initiative, my mom dealt with she was diagnosed mild schizophrenic, and but she's been doing great.
That's awesome.
Found a medication that works well with her, and she's been getting her rest, and she's been doing great. She's been here. I tell you, after this thing, boy, I'm a be.
She's been cooking.
Banana pudding and coconut pineapple cakes and gravy and chicken, and I'm just like, ooh. So,
oh my God, it's making me hungry.
Yeah, but she's doing very well. She's doing very well, and I'm glad she's here, though. I'm glad she's here with us, and she bounces around. She goes from and she's back east normally, But when it gets cold, she goes to my sister in Florida, and then she comes to us. So she does a little world tour. So, this
I
is
love that.
a last stop on the tour for a while. But, I said, Mom, I want you to be safe. So I'm like, you can't be going out in the stores, and because she has COPD. So we have to really be mindful of that.
Okay. And thank you for just being open and sharing about your mom. I know we have talked about it in the past, and as you know, you guys have been so supportive of the Silence to Shame Foundation and the work that we do to help erase stigma around mental health and wellness. And so talk a little bit more about kind of like the time that we're in, how important it is for us to really be supportive of our loved ones that may be faced with some more serious mental health challenges. And I think it is so awesome that your mom is taking her medication. Oftentimes, when people suffering with, whether it's bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, no fault of theirs, but sometimes they're not okay with taking the medication, and it can be more challenging on the family. I think we all have been there. Can you just elaborate a little bit more on that? Both of you guys, any thoughts that you might have just around us really taking care of our mental health and not being afraid to open up and share about it?
I think that's the first step, not being afraid to talk about it. That's the first step, because, in the Black household, that's like, that's a taboo. They don't talk about it in the churches. They don't talk about it in the office. They don't, it's just like sweep it under the rug. That's just crazy Joe. That's your Uncle Joe. He just, he'll look off. And we got to talk about it. I think the first step is confronting it, and then finding out ways to deal with it if you're on medication. To as much as I battle with that because of the side effects, because there's you got to take that medicine, and you have to take a medicine for the side effect of that medicine, then you have to take another medication for the medication that is the side effect medication.
And that's why we've been trying to do like some research on how we can find natural ways to help, because of all the side effects.
The 501 we're trying to do is, once all this is done, 501 we're going to put together is dealing with mental health and dealing with mental health help, but with natural.
That's amazing.
Natural remedies.
Natural remedies. Like we want to, offer, whether it's and not just for the patients, so to speak, themselves, but for the families, because families need a break.
Caregivers, man.
Yes, whether it's, the family can go out to dinner, or they can have yoga, or whatever it is, something that the families can do, because, people don't realize that not only is the person that's affected, stressful, it's on the family, because you all have to gather together, and it's constant just monitoring. So that's what we're working on now. And once we get through this, we want to get that going, because I think it's so important.
And diet is important too.
Diet too. Learning what goes with what, learning even natural remedies, and the things you can take that help, like black cohosh and different things that you can take to help. You can take turmeric, which is an anti-inflammatory.
I take it.
I take
it. Love it.
It helps as well. I've done some research, and they give that to a lot of patients who at the beginning stages of Alzheimer's, and they've shown improvement.
Really? And see, my mother has Alzheimer's, and I've been trying to do more word puzzles and do different things.
Oh, that's good.
As I get
word
older,
puzzles are excellent,
because it may, it could very well run in my family, and so I didn't know turmeric was potentially good for Alzheimer's. That's great to know.
Because the anti-inflammatory, and that's fluid, that starts to cause
sea moss is good.
Joe said sea moss. So
there's many natural ways, and at the end of the day, if someone has to take the medicine, they have to take it. But I'm just trying to find ways for relief for families and those who who are affected.
Well, please keep us posted, because I'd love to support and put down some of what you guys are doing in the research as a resource under Silence to Shame. It's just super important, and you really touched on something that I don't think enough people realize, is when one person in the family, especially if they live with you or you have to care for them on a regular basis, when they receive a diagnosis. And I always say people aren't their diagnosis, because I don't want people to think that, like, you know, something is wrong with me because I'm dealing with this. But the family really does take it on, right? It's as if we all are fighting this disease together.
Yes.
And so I think if more people thought in that manner, and they kind of took away the judgment and the shame, then we would be able to help our loved ones heal, you know, a lot quicker. So kudos to you guys for that, for sure.
Thank you.
Another question. So wellness is all about mind, body, spirit, but I added business to it, right? Because when you're financially well, you know, that leads to, you know, you being happy and you being motivated to want to work out and eat right and do well. So you guys have any tips you can give, like, to any entrepreneurs or people that are just kind of home and frustrated? You know, a lot of people are out of work. A lot of our bartenders and artists, you know, Shanice, you know, writers, you know, it's not a ton of work being done right now until we can kind of, you know, get through what we're going through. So any tips that you guys can give?
I feel like this is the time, because normally before this, everybody's like, everything's moving so fast and you're running here, you're running there, you're, you know, and going to work and doing this and doing that. I feel like this is the time to, like, really focus on your goals, you know, because this too shall pass. Like, this is going to end and we'll be back out there, and, you know, life will be moving again really fast. So whatever goals you have, this is the time of, whether if you're a singer, like for me, I'm going to start writing more songs and just start focusing on, you know, whatever business you have or whatever. Start planning for when we come out of this thing, you know, so that once we come out, you're ahead and you're not, you know, trying to figure it all out, you know. So we have all this time in the house. So whatever your goals are, you know, just start working on them, like, now. This is the time.
And I feel like from a songwriter perspective, you know, so many of our great songs have been birthed from a place of adversity, right? And pain and frustration and confusion sometimes. So I think, you know, we might be getting some great songs. Can't wait to hear what else you're doing.
I'm going to be writing a ton of songs.
Flex, are you over there writing some more comedies and TV shows?
You know, I'm actually working on.
Lean in a little bit, Flex.
I have working on a new drama that a partner and I wrote, and we literally were, you know, super close to getting all locked in before, you know, this happened. So I was just like, damn, it's right there. So I'm focused on that. You know, I wanted to do something different. This is a drama, and
that's great.
I'm excited about it. But, you know, I'm thinking of jokes and all that stuff, of course. And you know, but the DJing has been which I've been doing actually really for the last 4 years.
Okay.
Going on live.
Yeah, this isn't new.
Yeah.
Wow.
Off and on for, like, on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, we would get on, and, you know, so we've been doing that for a while, and nice. I think for all the DJs that are doing it, it's they're lending their skills and stuff and their talents to the healing. You know, I'm watching, you know, a couple of DJs, I want to mention names, kind of go at it. About, you know, tips and, you know, putting their Cash App up, and, you know, one was saying that he just didn't think that was cool, and the other one saying, well, hey. And I know people have tipped us, and, you know, I'm not looking for that. You know, we asked for it. You know? But you know, I just think this is the time that we all, you know, should band together and continue to lend those skills. So for me, that has been therapy. I think for both of us, it's been therapy.
And music is therapy.
Yeah, because I go all, like, tonight. You know, I'm on at 7:30.
He's going on tonight.
I'll be tuning in.
Yeah, and I never know what I'm gonna do. You know, I just think about it.
So no curated list. You just kind of play this in the moment?
I play everything in the moment. I don't get up and say I'm just gonna play this and that's it. It's not fair. Even people shout out sometimes, play this song, and I'll throw it on. And so I just go with what I feel. And tonight I'm in a kind of nostalgic mood.
So the last time he DJ'd, I told him, I whispered, I said, play Heal the World by Michael Jackson. Why did he play that? I started bawling like that ugly cry.
started crying, man. And
you have the most beautiful spirit and soul, Shanice. I met you years ago. A lot of people don't know that we have a connection from LaFace back in the day.
Yes.
And you are just as sweet as when I first met you.
Thank you, Shanti.
And it's the same thing, Shanti and I.
You haven't changed.
When I met Shanti, like I remember she took me to LaFace and showed me everywhere. And I mean, like this was in the beginning. This was
early 90s.
Early 90s.
That's right.
That was back in the Jack the Rapper Freaknik days.
Oh my God.
Jack the Rapper. Remember that? Jack the Rapper.
Yes, I've known you guys a long time. That's why I'm so happy that you guys are together. I would be remiss if I didn't ask, this is kind of like my last question, but I think you guys truly represent Black love in such a special way. And so if you look at the comments, everyone is just like, I love you guys. I love you guys.
Y'all. We appreciate everybody. Sorry we're not answering.
But I want to ask a real question. Any tips for couples, this doesn't include me, but those folks that are married or, have significant others or partners out there, being quarantined, it gets a lot to just be together 24/7. Like, give the couple some tips on wellness during the quarantine, things that can keep your relationship good. And I just mean having your own space or respecting each other's, private time, anything you got.
Switch rooms. That's all. Switch. If she's in the living room, you go up to the bedroom. If she's in the bedroom, go we have definitely all day that we'll sit, we'll talk, we'll eat, we'll laugh, we'll sit in the backyard. And then there's times where I like to watch different type of programming. I'll sit down and she'll watch, and there's no trick.
Like he'll go downstairs and watch TV, and I'll go up to our room and watch TV, and we'll just kind of separate. Even though we're in the same house, we do give each other, some space during this time.
That's good. Last thing, favorite movie or album that you can recommend for us to anything old or new?
We old school. We say albums.
Albums.
I know, right? Body of music.
I still say album.
Movie. Gosh, it's tough, but I think Five Heartbeat is probably.
Oh, I love that.
Movies.
And my favorite movie is Coming to America. Like, I could watch it over and over again and laugh at the jokes as if I'd never seen it before.
Wait, are you the one? Because, like me, I'll be re-saying the lines.
Yeah, I know the whole script. I know the whole movie by heart.
My son works.
I love it. Well, I always like to end these with giving everybody some tips. So going back to my tip of the day, again, is keep a positive attitude. Some other tips on WebMD are accept that these events are things that you can't control. I mean, because a lot of us, especially high achievers, we're so used to being in control. And so when that control is taken away from us, it really takes a toll sometimes on our stress and emotional health. So try to understand that this is something we can't control, but that we will get through, because hope is always there. Yeah. Exercise regularly. Your body can fight stress when it's, when you're in shape, right? And when you're fit. Eating healthy, well-balanced meals. I know, we're all couch potatoes at some points, throughout the day, but you got to try to get up and stay moving. Again, limit the amount of media time, make time for hobbies and interests and time to relax. And then also seek treatment, from a licensed mental health professional if you need to. A lot of people are either offering free sessions or, at lower reduced rates. The crisis text line is another wonderful opportunity to text somebody if you need support and you can't really afford to pay anyone. You can text the word silence to 741-741 and be connected. And, May is right around the corner, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. May 5th is National Silence to Shame Day. So we're going to be calling, hopefully, back on you guys to support us and possibly help us raise funds. Because I will tell you, part of why I was so stressed out earlier is, we're really operating on limited funds right now for the organization. And it's myself, and I have another full-time employee. And so for us to be able to do this work, it's tough. So we want to try to raise some money, in the month of May. But I love you guys and appreciate you all. And I gotta hold on. I gotta turn on something real quick.
I gotta tell you real quick.
Wait, hold on. Everybody want to hear this.
That's right. We got to smile through it.
Right.
Sorry. Everybody just putting that in the comments. I was like, let me pull this up real
Thank
quick.
you, Shanti.
What was the one thing you wanted to say, Flex? I'm sorry.
I wanted to say that, King Tomorrow, what's up, King Tomorrow in Japan?
Japan.
Wanted to say also, going back to keeping a positive mindset, that, fear and faith cannot coexist, and fear is false evidence appearing real. So just keep that in your mind and squash it as soon as it tries to come up, y'all. And y'all be safe out there.
Yeah, be safe.
Stay positive.
Home.
Stay home.
Yes, stay home, please.
Stay home.
And
we're gonna get through this.
We're gonna get through this.
Yeah.
And I'm
we
gonna
be all right.
Y'all in California, and we're gonna party.
Right. Yeah, Shanti. That's right.
Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Yale Wellness Check-In. Soon these will be up on our YouTube, so we can make sure people, can get the content if they need it. I know a lot of people have been asking. But again, stay safe, stay positive. I love you guys.
We love you.
Tune in tomorrow, the same time. I'm going to be talking to Erica Campbell. I'm so excited. Shout out to Erica. And then Thursday, we have Chris Webber from TNT and the NBA. And then Friday, we got Candy Burris. So we rolling.
Candy.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. And you keep doing what you're doing, Shanti.
Yes,
you have been a blessing to people. I know it.
It's
probably been rough, and you working on limited funds, but just stay the course. It's going to turn around.
And you have our support. Whatever you
just keep doing what you're doing, Shanti.
I love you guys.
I love you too.
Thank you. Follow me at Shanti404 and hashtag Yeah Wellness if you liked anything that you heard today, and hashtag Silence of Shame. Stay safe. Peace and love.
Bye.
Bye, guys.